All right, next game on the list here, we got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Baltimore Ravens, let me say this, man. Lamar Jackson, I'm sick of seeing 18 to 30 for 180. I'm sick of it, okay? It's my beef with Lamar Jackson. He's electrifying as a runner. I get it. And I will say this. Let me throw one compliment out here. As much as people dog him for throwing like deep and him not having precision down the field, and maybe the Ravens, they have Marquise Brown. I'm waiting for Duvernay to be more of an asset on the outside there, because you have Brown and Duvernay, their speed on the outside. That's very intriguing to me. But I don't know that I've ever seen anybody throw better in traffic than Lamar Jackson. And I've never seen a quarterback throw across his body over the middle. And every time he throws one of these balls, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be picked. But he completes like 90% of them. At some point, it's just his game. He's really good at that. And, I got to say, that's a compliment. But I'm sick of seeing 18 to 30. Come on, man. Anyway, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, you start him every week in spite of what I just said. You got to fade the running backs. Gus Edwards, he's going to get all the carries, and JK Dobbins is going to get all the receptions as a backup running back. Mark Ingram's not going to be involved in the passing game. Just fade him. Honestly, I'm fading the receivers in this game against Philadelphia. I think Mark Andrews, assuming he's like spry and ready to go, I like him quite a bit in this matchup. I think he could be like the best overall tight end of the week. Philadelphia, on the other hand, they're an interesting team too, because they're playing a little bit better and better, but they still have nothing at wide receiver other than like Travis Fulgham. If you're a believer in Fulgham, I mean, you could pick him up.
Put some respect. I'll talk about Fulgham a little bit.
I like Ward. I like Fulgham, but my opinion, and I know you'll disagree with me, and we can agree to disagree. My opinion is when Alshon Jeffery comes back, he's going to be getting those Fulgham targets. But I will say that Fulgham, what he's done the last 2 weeks, is going to be a little bit harder to keep him off the field. So it's going to be interesting to see with the target share when everybody's healthy and what happens there. But Philadelphia is getting a little bit better. Zach Ertz is complete trash, as it turns out. Go figure. Ertz will be a free agent. He'll be gone. And this is Dallas Goedert, will be the future tight end of Philadelphia. I think he can lock that in. I still have Goddard, by the way, on my IR because of how bad Zach Ertz is playing. Miles Sanders, hey, good job against Pittsburgh, although it was, I think, really one big run, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't watch that game, so I have to catch up on that one. But Miles Sanders is a start. Whoever that top receiver is, I would bet on Alshon, but if it's not, I don't mind playing Fulgham. We'll see what happens with the injuries and all that stuff. But I stay away from everybody else. I mean, Baltimore's defense. By the way, David, I have no qualms. I have no reservations or buyer's remorse on drafting the Baltimore defense a little early. I love having Baltimore locked into my defense every week. I drafted in like the 12th round in a 16-team league. And you know what? I waived everybody that I drafted after that anyway. Lock in that defense, baby. Lock it in. 40 points they got me this week in my league format. Like a third of my entire score. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we got to talk about it. I mean, there's an elephant in the room, and his name is JK Dobbins.
Yeah, I know.
He has broken my heart worse than my high school girlfriend, and she liked to sneak off with my best friends and do some funky stuff. So that's how bad it's getting right now. JK Dobbins, and it's not even that he's broken my heart. Whoever is in charge, whether it's Harbaugh, Roman, I don't know, who is making these decisions? How does J.K. Dobbins get one carry, take it for 34 yards? I do this every week. I say, how does he do this, and that, and then not touch the ball again?
It's Nick Chubb's rookie season down to like the stat line. It's insane.
I think maybe they already think that they're going to the Super Bowl again. Like they got that sort of Kansas City Chief mentality right now, where the first half of the season really doesn't matter to these guys because they just are.
It's true.
They're not getting pressured by any opposing team. They're just steamrolling essentially through everybody they play, and it's coming at the expense of J.K. Dobbins. I mean, I guess the positive is that he can be had for dirt cheap in a trade right now, like absolute dirt cheap. And if he does take over in the second half of the year, which I still think is inevitable at a certain point, he's taking over. But my golly, you can't put this guy anywhere close to your starting lineup. Yeah. I mean, don't drop him. Please don't drop him. Please do not do it, because the regret level if he goes off you're gonna be feeling that one for years.
Yeah, I mean, it will happen. You're right, but my question is, what ended up happening in Nick Chubb's rookie year is Hugh Jackson got fired, and Freddie Kitchens took over, and you're like, hey, this guy's the best back on our roster. Let's put him in.
And Hyde got traded to the Jaguars.
That's right. Hyde got traded. You're right, and I don't see that happening with Baltimore. Now, Gus Edwards is interesting to me if you're in a dynasty format because I believe he's unrestricted this year. And Gus Edwards, like, is a career-long 5 yards per carry guy. If he lands on a team that needs a running back, like, again, if you're in a dynasty, especially a deep dynasty, I'd probably roster him just to have him for the offseason. But, I mean, look, Gus Edwards is so good and so efficient in carrying the ball, he is keeping JK Dobbins off the field. That's legitimately happening. But you're right. I mean, something's got to give here. And Ingram and Edwards are splitting carries, and Dobbins is coming in as kind of like the DeAndre Swift role, or he only gets catches. It's driving us nuts.
I don't even think he has as many touches as DeAndre Swift.
You're right.
Hey, Swift had a bye this week.
You're right.
I have to look up the stats, but oh god, it's brutal. Right
yeah,
now.
we were talking about how I liked Alexander Mattison as much as I liked Josh Jacobs and Devin Singletary, coming in the rookie class. The same is true. Dobbins on film was my favorite running back, even more than Jonathan Taylor. And it's driving me crazy, but it will happen. The question is it going to happen this year? I don't know. I'm losing faith that it'll happen this year, but you can't drop him. I agree. You cannot drop him under any scenario. Hey, you're one injury away from Edwards or Ingram from him being absolutely the best running back on the roster. If either one of those goes down, he is the best fantasy football option on that roster at the running back position. So, and people are dropping like flies this year. So.
And he's been efficient. Like, he only needs 10 touches in a game to be flex-worthy.
Yep, agreed. Let me hit you with the line, David. Baltimore -7.5 versus Philly.
Oh, give me Baltimore. Before I go, I just want to talk about Travis Fulgham real quick.
Okay.
Why I think he has staying power. I hate this matchup against Baltimore. I wouldn't start him this week at all. And you talk about Alshon, Jeffery. I've already said it 1,000 times. Jeffery and DeSean Jackson, they're dead to me. If they come back, I don't expect it to be for long. I don't expect them to produce. These guys have been on injured reserve longer than we've been doing the podcast, which
you're right.
I guess isn't that long.
Yeah, right.
They're just always there. But Fulgham, he had 13 targets this past week, 10 for 152. He's a big play guy. He had 2 for 57 and a touchdown in week 4, 10 for 152 last week. That's 15 yards per catch, a touchdown in each. He outproduced the entire Eagles receiving corps last week. It was Fulgham and then everybody else, and he was the other guy. In Baltimore, it's terrible this week. Look at the schedule, guys, for the Eagles. After Baltimore this week, they got the Giants, Dallas, a bye. Then they got the Giants, Cleveland, Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, Arizona, and they finish Dallas week 16. So the schedule is cake for the Eagles going forward. I think your buy window's probably closed on Miles Sanders. Ertz, don't even bother buying him. But Dallas Goedert, he's an intriguing buy right now. If he's somehow available in your league, you got to pick him up. If he's not available, go see if you can acquire him for cheap if you need a tight end. Because I do still believe in Dallas Goedert.
Me too.
And I think this schedule is really going to open up in the second half of the year for these guys. But I'm taking Baltimore this week.
Yeah, Baltimore -7.5. I actually think Philly has been playing better. I'm gonna take Philly, and it would not shock me if Philly actually wins this game because of how they match up.
Don't say that in front of me.
I know, man, but like like Lamar Jackson. Here's the thing: we know this about the Ravens, and Philadelphia does have the ability every now and then to take a lead. And if Philly puts up a quick 15 or 15 with Doug Peterson, right? It's either going to be they're going to get 16 points or 12 because of his going for 2-point conversions early. But no, but like if they take an early lead, they take a little bit of that running game out. Lamar Jackson throwing 18 for 20.
Give me a break.
Hey man, I'm saying like 7.5 is a big line for this. I'm going to take Philadelphia to cover the spread. Now I would still take Baltimore. I mean, come on, I'd take Baltimore to win the game. But 7.5, that's over a touchdown. I think it's going to be within a touchdown. So I'll take Philly.